How much damage can we get out of the Blade Master? How much can we get out of Zinogre, the fusion champion? We're going to test it today. We're going to see how much we can really pump out of her, at least on a per hit basis. It should be fun. Welcome on the Deadwoodjedi. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. We are on the test server and we're looking at Zinogre today in a double man-eater comp. Now, the reason why this is the easy double man-eater, the reason why I want to use this comp, which is linked down below in the description of this video if you want to try and run this team. The reason why I want to do this is with the two man-eaters with almost no accuracy on Zinogre, the Blade Master, we should be able to see that passive extra damage really come into action. I'm really curious the kind of number she's going to put up. I brought in Martyr. I brought in Gnut. We're going to just max out the damage on this team. We should be able to one key, I think, pretty easily. But I want to see how she compares. Two Martyr, two Gnut, and we should get an idea of the kind of damage potential that she has. And obviously, at least for a majority of the fight, as long as Leech doesn't land, and there's always a 3% chance. Which it shouldn't be up most of the fight. We should be doing, tons of damage. Try to build her out as well as I could. But I don't want to delay. We're going to go ahead and jump in on the fight. I'll show you the gear. Once we start getting rolling, we can start seeing the numbers we're putting up there. And we'll see how this turns out. But I'm pretty excited to find out. All right, obviously with the double man-eater comp, I have to do a little setup. I did hear a rumor that someone figured out how to do a full auto build with this. I haven't been able to figure it out. So till that happens, we'll just manual the early parts here just to get rolling on everything, and I think we should be fine after that. I'm gonna try and set it up as easy peasy for myself as I possibly can here. A couple little delays, get some good damage there. Went from Gnut, we've got Martyr going. Here goes the first unkillable camp. I think I have this timed out all right. It's been a while since I've run this team, quite frankly, but we'll see how this goes. I do have both my man-eaters in toxic gear, just FYI. But, Blade Master, you can see we do pretty darn good damage. He is already a little bit low as far as her HP goes, right? So nothing crazy as of yet. But now we're under the 50% mark, and we don't have Life Drinker on. With no Leech out there, we're gonna see her doing literally double damage here, which is pretty exciting. So let's go ahead and see how this goes. I think I should be able to click auto at this point, but I'm gonna manual it through. Okay, get that last one going there. And okay, A1, pretty much 100k a hit. Pretty solid, I would say. That's pretty solid, I would say. 300k a pop is not too shabby. That's a pretty good starting spot, I would say. Let's see what we do with the A2 or the A3. I had to turn the A2 off. That's one of the things when you're using her, not gonna be able to use that A2 ability, at least not yet. Haven't figured that out yet, but hopefully at some point. So here, we give ourselves an increased attack, which is one of the reasons why she is so good. Boom, we did land the Leech, and you can see it already dropped to that 50k. So she's going to be doing 100k pop when she is low health, 50k pop when she's full health. And so just the infrequency, hopefully we aren't landing that decreased attack enough. If we're not we're not landing the Leech often enough, we're not going to heal. We'll get the full passive effect going, which is kind of the goal here. But I should be able to click auto at this point. I think we're on full auto. I think we're set here. Should be in sync here at this point and just doing lots of damage. So you can see 100k from the man-eaters, 200k from Martyr. Pretty on point, I would say. This is the counterattack. That Leech is still out there, which means we're obviously, healing up more than we want to be. But look at that, 65k. I mean, I have her built pretty well on this build here, so 65k in attack is pretty decent. For a triple hitter, that's what, about 180k or so. And on the 4-hitter, like right there, you're going to see even higher numbers. And now at this point, we should be dropping down again. We'll start seeing that damage ramp up one more time. The counterattacks obviously do less damage. You got to kind of wait to go through those. The only problem with these counterattack teams, they're a little bit slower. But let's see. There we go. Yeah, 60 a pop. That's not bad. We haven't lost that much HP yet, but obviously we're losing some. I don't know that it compares to Ganut, but you know, we're still trucking. Here we are low, really low. Yeah, 60, 70k on the counterattacks, not bad. 100k a pop. 100k a pop. So 300k a pop on that A1 is really good numbers, I would say. I don't know that it's comparing to our other champions here, but look at that. Look at that with the A3. Now we're talking 150, 170 per hit. That's basically 600,000 on that A3 skill. That's, I would say, pretty comparative to what Newt is doing. You know, it's not as much damage. I mean, Newt is doing what, 100k on his hits as well. But, you know, so look at that. It's comparable, very comparable numbers. I'm actually pretty shocked here at that kind of damage comparison. Obviously, Martyr's built like a freaking truck and doing crazy good damage, but that is pretty wild that she's putting up numbers that are comparable to Newt. Now, I don't expect her to actually out damage Newt in the long run, but it's not that far off. I mean, a little bit far off, right? Obviously, Newt does really good with that A3 ability, but the rest of her skills, I mean, that A4, the 4-hitter with each hit doing 150,000 damage, that is significant damage there. And she has no blessings, which adds a ton to your damage possibilities there. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed. Definitely does not have, and she's built well, but does not have like my best gear on. So she can be putting up some pretty serious numbers in a team like this. Well, very cool. Let's take a look at how I geared them out, and then we'll see what damage we do at the end of this thing. Okay, looking at the champs, you can see we've got them. They're all built pretty darn good, I would say. Martyr's going that 172 speed, going last in like the turn order of the comp for the DPS. 6,000 defense, 300 crit damage. Yeah, she's pretty stacked, I would say, and it definitely shows in the damage. The Blade Master, 169 speed, 5600 attack, 338 crit damage. Maybe a little bit overkill on the crit damage. Definitely a little bit lower on the attack. Like a champion like this, you know, after you have them for a while, you can usually build these champions up pretty darn high with their attack 6,000-7,000. But no blessing really impacts that a lot. Also, my, what is it? Not my Great Hall, but my Faction Guardians for the Shadowkin is pretty mediocre. So I'm missing a lot of extra stats that you would normally find. So, you know, just keep that in mind that the damage we're seeing could be significantly higher. But overall, still pretty darn built. And you can see no accuracy so that she doesn't land the leech as often as possible. We've got Newt here, also about 6,000 defense, 270 crit damage, good accuracy. I basically took this from my Hydra build, so maybe not built quite to the nines, but 6,000 defense, pretty solid, I would say. Also has increased defense buff from Martyr. Very nice. The Man-Eaters, both of them are going to be in toxic gear. This is the fast one, 250 crit damage, almost 3,000 attack. The slow one here, 240 crit damage, a little over 3,000 attack. So they're both built a little bit different, but they're both in toxic to add a little bit more poison, give us a little bit more damage on the team in general. mean, 127 million is way more than I was expecting. What's pretty crazy is she did pretty comparable to Newt. I mean, if you took the brimstone off Newt, I bet those numbers would be a lot closer to being even, which is pretty remarkable. And it really showcases damage potential that she has. Now, not every team can be an unkillable style team like this one, so it's not going to work for every build out there. But I mean, that's pretty good, I would say. I would say that's pretty darn good. 32 million. I mean, compared to the 37 of Newt, the 25 of Martyr, who's putting up like 400k a hit. That's pretty fantastic, I think. She's good. She's definitely good. Now, like I said before, she's probably not going to be a game changer for end game accounts like mine. But for a lot of you out there, I would say a majority of you out there, she's going to be somebody that is worth considering to get just for clan boss. Now, every account is different, so you got to decide that on your own, whether there's a fusion worth going for. But I just want to kind of give you guys as many of the facts as possible to give you an idea of like, oh, she's going to be good for this. She's going to be good for that. She's going to be trash for this or trash for that. But clan boss clearly is going to be a strength of hers and something to really consider as far as like a spot to put her in. So yeah, anyway, I like the Blade Master. I think she's pretty darn good, and definitely somebody you guys should consider looking out for. So yeah, that's it. That's the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this and found it helpful. If you did, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and yeah, leave a comment down below. What did you guys think? Is this better than you expected? Worse than you expected? Is there a specific team that you think she might be even better than this one for? I would be interested to hear your guys' thoughts on that. But yeah, that's all we got for today. So till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.